Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Trinadapi Sunichena Tarar Iva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Namaiva Kevalam Kalau Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adigo Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome, Cologne devotees. Today we start chapter 11, which is entitled Vishvarupa, the universal form. In the previous chapter, Arjuna wanted to know how Krishna's vibhutis, or specific opulences, are manifested throughout the cosmic manifestation. Now in this chapter, Arjuna will begin with yet another request of Krishna. So we begin, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The first section of this chapter 11, verses 1 through 4, I entitle, Arjuna Wants to See the Universal Form. Arjuna Uvacha Mad Anugrahaya Paramang Guhyam Adhyatma Sangyatam Yat Trayoktang Vachastena Mohoyang Vigato Mama. Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. And what's that referring to? In chapter 10, the previous chapter, Krishna revealed the 4 nutshell or seed verses of Gita in verses 8 through 11. And after hearing that, Arjuna made the statement, Parang Dhamma, Parang Brahma. He said, now I accept you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And my conclusion is also supported by such great sages as Devala and Vyasadeva. So that's what that line is referring to. Bhavapyayau hi bhutanang srutau vistarasho maya tvatak kamala patraksha mahatmyam apichavyayam. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity, and I have realized your inexhaustible glories. Yes, Krishna is avyayam, inexhaustible. Evang etad yatha tattvam atmanang parameshvara drashtum ichchami te rupam aishvarang purushottama. O greatest of all personalities, Purushottama, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I now wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. So one thing I always like to stress, that this universal form of the Lord is a demonstration, a manifestation. There actually is no universal form. It is a conception for meditation. You can read about that meditation in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 2nd canto, in the 3rd canto. The description of that kind of meditation is given. But there actually is no real universal form. Why? Because Krishna does not have a material form. The universal form is a material conception. So there is no universal form, but Krishna can display this universal form whenever he wants. He can display it. In the Mahabharata, he displayed one particular universal form when Krishna came to Hastinapur with the peace proposal. And then when Duryodhana tried to capture Krishna and kidnap him, Krishna manifested a universal form. And for the time being, the only time in his life, Dhritarashtra was given eyes, and he was able to see that universal form of Krishna. And then, when Krishna took it away, Dhritarashtra's eyesight went back to being blind. Another display of the universal form was when Lord Vamana was stealing Chalayasi Vikramane Balim Adbhuta Vamana Padanakanira Janita Janapavada. When Lord Vamanadev was cheating Bali out of the universe, and with 2 steps, Vamanadev covered the entire universe. So at that time he displayed a universal form. And this is another universal form which Krishna is about to display. Manyase yadi tachchakyang maya drashtum iti prabho yogeshvara tato me twang darshayat manam avyayam. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. So here Arjuna is teaching us how to pray to the Lord and request a benediction. Notice his mood. His mood is one of humility. If you think I am able, that's called the humble mood. That is the only way to attract the attention of God. The way prayers work, first you glorify the Lord, you submit yourself in humility, and then you make your request. Now, in verses 5 through 8, Krishna agrees to display the universal form. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrasha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varnakratini Cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Oh, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds and hundreds of varied divine and multicolored forms. Pasyadityan basun rudran ashvina marutastata bahunya drista purvani pasyascharjani bharata." O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, the Vasus, Rudras, Ashvini Kumars, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. So there's going to be several times where it will be pointed out in this chapter that this specific manifestation of the universal form is unique. Never before was this form shown, and it was only shown at this time to Arjuna, and as we will find out later, those who are in the heavenly planets and who had the same transcendental consciousness as Arjuna could also see the universal form that Krishna was displaying. Keep in mind, it's not a real form. It's simply a display. It's like a magic trick. Krishna's just demonstrating it. Ihaikastang jagat kritsnang pasyadya satcharacharang mama dehe gudakesha yachchanya drastum itchasi. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. For this universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely in one place. Nattumang shakshyase drashtum anenaeva svachakshusha divyang dadami te chakshu pashyame yogam aishvaram. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. So this is another specific point to be noted. Arjuna would not be able to see this form unless Krishna gives him the access codes. Just like Wi-Fi. If you have a secure Wi-Fi, you need the password to click in. That's for your security. So in order to see the universal form, you need the access codes. And that access codes is the eyes given by Krishna. So Krishna is agreeing to give Arjuna access to see this display. Now in verses 9 through 14, Arjuna describes what he now sees. Sanjaya uvacha evang uktva tato rajan mahayogeshvaro hari darshayam asapartaya paramang rupam aishvaram. Sanjaya said, O King Dhritarashtra, having spoken thus, the Supreme Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. So this reminds us, Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra are situated some distance away, securely away from the battlefield. But as we will learn at the end in chapter 18, because of Vyasadeva, Sanjaya's guru, Sanjaya was able to envision everything that was going on. So Sanjaya is like your on-the-scene reporter. You've seen on the newscast, some event is happening, and then each station has their representative, eyewitness news. So that's Sanjaya. He's reporting to the blind Dhritarashtra exactly what he envisions. And he's be able to envision because of his guru Vyasadeva. Aneka Vaktram Nayanam, Anekadbhuta Darshanam, Anekya Divya Varanam, Divyane Kodayad Yudam, Divya Malyambara Darang, Divya Gandanulepanang, Sarvascharya Mayang Devam, Anantang Vishvato Mukam. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared all over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. So not only was Arjuna seeing what you see in the background behind me, but it was multidimensional. He was smelling it. So that's another aspect. It's all the dimensions are there. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapad Uttita Yadi Basas Sadrishi Sasyad Basastasya Mahatmanaha. If hundreds and thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. So you all know how powerful there in Cologne the sun is. You all have direct experience. Now try to imagine hundreds and thousands of suns all at the same time. This is quite a show that Krishna is putting on. Tatraikastang jagat kritsnang prabhivaktam anekada apasyad deva devasya sharire pandavastada. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe, situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. Tataksa Vismaya Vishno Rishta Roma Dhananjaya Pranamya Shirasa Devang Kritanjalir Abhashata. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances, and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord. So, there will be two sections of prayers that Arjuna will offer in this chapter. So this is the first series of prayers, verses 15 through 31, entitled Arjuna Prays and Describes. Arjuna Uvacha Pashyami Devangs Tava Deva Dehe Sarvangs Tata Bhuta Vishesha Sangang Brahmanam Isham Kamalasanastam Rishingscha Saravan Urugangscha Divyan. Arjuna prayed, "My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities." So, before the program started, Shrilesh was asking me, so here's your answer, Shrilesh. Not only did Arjuna see the demigods, various other living entities, so that would include human beings. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva, and all the sages and divine serpents. So this universal form, as is explained in Bhagavatam, is simply all the demigods, all the living entities, all the planets, everything in the cosmic manifestation is included in this universal form. And specifically, the demigods are different limbs of the universal form. So what does that mean? It means Ekale Ishwara Krishna Ar Sabha Bhritya. That's a Bengali shloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the author, Krishnadas Kaviraj, is teaching everybody, everyone is servant of Krishna, beginning with Radharani and Balaram. Everyone is servant of Krishna. So what to speak of the demigods, including Brahma and Shiva, and what to speak of me and you? Everyone is servant of Krishna. Aneka bahudara bhaktara netrang pasyami twang saravato nanta rupam nantang namadyang napunas tabading pasyami vishveshvara vishvarupa. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes expanded everywhere. Just see the picture. See the picture. Without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. Because when Arjuna was seeing this universal form, it was all pervasive. It was in front of him, the side of him, the back. It was 5D, not just 3D. 5D, remember, he's also smelling. Karitinang gadinan chakrinang cha tejo rashing saravato dipti mantam pasyami twang durnirikshing samantad deeptanalarka dutim aprameyam. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading, here it is, on all sides. I just got finished saying, on all sides, like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. And yet, I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. So, not only is he seeing, not only is he smelling, but he's also hearing the universal form. Twamaksharang paramang veditavyang Tvam asya vishvasya parang nidanam, Tvam avyayakshasvatak dharma gopta, sanatana strong purusho matome. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible, and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion. Notice what Arjuna is saying here. Eternal religion. What is the eternal religion? Sanatan Dharma. What is that Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan, eternal religion is everyone is servant of Krishna. That's eternal religion. You want to call it Hinduism or Christian or Muslim or Buddhist, doesn't matter. Give it whatever name you want. There's only one eternal religion. What is that? Everyone is servant of God. If your so-called religion does not accept that everyone is eternal servant of God, then you're following a cheating religion. Eternal, real religion is that everyone is the eternal servant of God. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. Yes, Arjuna is seeing this universal form, so he's giving you his first-hand account. Anadi madyantam ananta viryam ananta bahung shasi surya netram pashyami twang dipta hutasha bhaktrang swatejasa vishvam idang tapantam. You are without origin, without middle, without end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. Dyava prativyor idam antarang hi. Vyaptang tvayaikena dishascha sarva, dristvad bhutang rupam ugrang tavedang, lokatrayang pravyatitang mahatman. Although you are one, you are spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O Great One, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. Amihi twang sura sangha vishanti, kechid bita pranjalayo grinanti, svasyukva marharshi siddha sangha, stuvanti twang stutibi pushkalabi. All the host of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings are crying out, "All peace!" And they are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. Rudraditya vasavoye chasadya vishveshvinau marutas choshmapascha gandharva yakshasura siddha sangha vikshante te twang vismitas chaiva sarve. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva. There are 11 Rudras. We learn this in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Adityas, there are 12 Adityas, and the 12th one is Lord Vamana, Urukriyam. The Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadyas, the Vishvadevas, the 2 Ashvis, the Maruts, those are the wind gods, 49, 50 wind gods. The forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the asuras, and the perfected demigods are all beholding you in wonder. Rupang mahate bahuvaktra netrang mahabaho bahu rupadam bahudarang dangstrakaralang drisva loka pravyatitas tataham. O mighty armed one, all the planets along with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. Nabat sprishang deeptam aneka varnang vyatananang deepta vishala netram drisvahi twang pravyatitantar atma dhriting navindami shamang cha Vishnu. All pervading Vishnu. So that is one meaning of the word Vishnu. There are two names of God which indicate that he is all pervading. So one is Vishnu and the other is Vasudeva. Seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. Dangstra karalani chate mukani drisvaiva kalanala sannibani disho najane na labecha sharma prasida devesha jagan nivasa. O Lord of lords, O refuge of the world, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance by thus seeing your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. So we recall in chapter 1 and in the beginning of chapter 2, Arjuna was bewildered. Arjuna was confused. So now he's once again bewildered by seeing what you see in the screen behind me. Just imagine if you were seeing this all around you in gigantic form. I'm sure all of us would be even more bewildered than Arjuna. Ami chatwang dhritarashtrasya putra sarve sahai bhavani palasangai bhishmo drona sutta putrastatasau sahasmadiyar apiyoda mukyai vaktrani te tvaramana vishanti dangstra karalani bayanakani Kechid vilagna dashanantareshu sandrishyante churnitar utamangai. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, as well as Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also, are rushing into your fearful mouths. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. So what is Krishna showing Arjuna? If you go to the movies, before you see the feature film, they show previews of future films. So here, Krishna is giving Arjuna a preview of what's going to happen in the next 18 days. Because this Bhagavad-gita was spoken on day 1 of the battle of Kurukshetra, and the battle has not yet started. So Krishna is showing Arjuna, here are the coming attractions. They're all going to be devoured by Krishna's universal form. including Bhishma, Drona, and the great Karna. And look what Arjuna is seeing. Our chief soldiers also, yes. Only the 5 Pandavas and a few others survived. Yata nadinang bahavam buvega samudram eva vimuka drabanti tatatavami naraloka vira vishanti vaktranya bivajvalanti. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. Yata pradiptang vajalang patanga vishanti nashaya samriddhavega tataiva nashaya vishanti lokas tavapi bhaktrani samriddhavega. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. What a great description. As moths dash to destruction. The moth gets attracted by the brilliant light of the fire. Or you may have had experience of leaving a light bulb out at night. You leave it left on overnight, and in the morning, pile of moths have been destroyed. That glaring light attracts them, and then the heat of the lamp destroys them, or the blazing fire. Le lihyase grasamana samantal lokan samagran vadanarjvalabhi tejobi apurya jagat samagram basastavogra pratipanti Vishnu. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. Akyahi meko bhavan ugra rupo namostute deva varaprasida vigyatum ichchami bhavantam adyang nahi prajanami tava pravrittam. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, but I do not know what your mission is. So this next section is very, very important part of this chapter. The next 3 verses, the universal form will speak his mind and answer Arjuna's question. What is that question? Who are you and what is your mission? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kalosmi Lokakshaya Krit Pravriddo Lokan Samahartum Iha Pravritta Rite Pitwangna Bhavishanti Sarve Ye Vastita Pratyanikeshu Yoda. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the world. And I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So here it is. What is this universal form? It is manifestation of Kala, eternal time. And what is its mission? Destruction. We see it in our own lives, day by day, imperceptibly. This body is dwindling. So you young children out there, you might think, oh, I'm young and handsome and virile. Just wait. One day you'll wake up, oh my God, I'm 40. What happened? Just like me, I never had to wear glasses before I was 50 years old. I had 20/20 vision. But one day I woke up and I couldn't read the fine print. And I thought, something's wrong. Yes, you need glasses. You're an old man. But yes, time acts imperceptibly. You parents know the same thing. Your teenage son or daughter used to be a little baby in your arms that you would cuddle and you would say, oh, they're so cute. And now they're big. Time, what's it doing? Destroying little by little. And we all know, we wake up in the morning, another gray hair, another wrinkle, another loose tooth, another ache. Oh, what happened? Time, cruel. Time is cruel because we get this gift of life and little by little it is robbed, it is taken away. Notice what the universal form is saying. Except for the Pandavas, nobody's going home after the 18 days of they're all dead. Millions and millions of soldiers. Tasmat tvam utishta yasho labasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajang samriddham mayai vaite nihata purvam eva nimitra matrang bhavasavya sachin. To me, this is the most important line in this chapter for me. Nimitta matrang bhavasavya sachin. Savya Sachin refers to Arjuna, who's very expert handling the bow. So what does the universal form say? Get up, prepare to fight, and win glory. Conquer your enemies, and thus enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. And you, O Sabyasachi, can be an instrument in the fight. So this is what Krishna wants out of you and me. Krishna is asking you to voluntarily become an instrument. What is the fight? We're not on the battle of Kurukshetra, but we are also in a fight. What is that fight? The fight against ignorance, the fight against illusion, the fight against gross materialism, the fight against atheism. That is our fight. The fight for truth and righteousness. And Krishna is asking every one of us, become his instrument. Here is my kartals. This is an instrument. Over here I have my guitar. They cannot play themselves. Somebody has to play. So the devotee's attitude is, let me be a pair of kartals in Krishna's hand. Or as Prabhupada said, when he arrived in Boston and he was docked at the pier on the Jaladuta boat, he wrote that poem, Krishna, I am your puppet. Now make me dance as you like. Make me dance, make me dance, make me dance. That's called surrender. That's the same principle here. Prabhupada was praying to Krishna, Nimitta matrang, make me your instrument. And thank God Krishna did that. He created this ISKCON movement because Prabhupada agreed to become his instrument. Nobody else came from Gaudiya Math. Nobody else was willing to do it. But Prabhupada was. And he went through hardships and lots of personal endeavor and tests. Suffered heart attacks, but he didn't give up. Nimitta matram. you can be an instrument in the fight. So, I draw another analogy. Shrilesh and you all have that Food for Life program. So everyone should become an instrument in that Food for Life program, either by cooking or distributing or donating or whatever you can do. And when you do Rath Yatra, everyone should become an instrument to put on that Rath Yatra festival. When you agree to become Krishna's instrument, you become empowered. You become noticed by Krishna. So you want to be blessed by Krishna? Agree to become Krishna's instrument. Nimitta matram. That's why I do what I do. What I'm doing right now is I'm acting. I am agreeing. Krishna, use me. Speak through me. I am your instrument. And I will deliver your message, not my message. I don't have a message. I am giving you Krishna and Prabhupada's message. That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. I'm giving you Prabhupada and Krishna's message because I have accepted nimitta matram. Dronang cha bhishmang cha jayatrang cha karnang tatanya apiyoda viran maya hatang strang jahima vyatishta yudasvajetasi rane sapatnan. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Just a matter of time. That's all it is. 18 days, they'll all be gone. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. So another point here, which will be brought up later at the end of Bhagavad-gita. Krishna does not force anyone. You have free will. It may be minute, but you still have free will. Krishna does not force you to become his instrument. But if you voluntarily agree, you become glorious. Krishna could have done the battle of Kurukshetra in 1 second. He could have just went, finish. No, that's not how Krishna works. He wants to see his devotees get the credit for Krishna's empowerment. As I've said so many times, Krishna is cool. Krishna takes pleasure in empowering his devotee. The devotee gets all the credit, but actually, Krishna is doing everything, empowering his devotee. This is what I love about Krishna. He's not some egomaniac. No, Krishna is cool. He wants Arjuna to take the credit. That's Krishna. Beautiful Krishna. All right, so we'll finish up chapter 11 next week. And depending on the time, we may even finish chapter 12 since it's only 20 verses. So we may finish next week this chapter and chapter 12. And then we'll be done with 2/3 of Bhagavad-gita. Okay. I want to do a nice prayers of protection for all my Cologne family. I hope you accept me as your spiritual family. I accept you as my spiritual family. So for your protection, I chant. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Klada Dayane. Prahlada Klada Dayane Hiranya Kashi Puravaksha Hiranya Kashi Puravaksha Shilatangana Kalaye Shilatangana Kalaye Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsinga Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsinga Yato Yato Yamitato Nrsinga Yato Yato Yamitato Nrsinga Bahir Nrsinga Hridaye Nrsinga Bahir Nrsinga Hridaye Nrsinga Nrsinghamadim Sharanam Prapadye Nrsinghamadim Sharanam Prapadye Nrsinghamadim Sharanam Prapadye I take shelter, I surrender to Lord Nrsinga. Tavakara Kamala Varenakam Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahadi Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahadi Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Jai Jagadisha Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare